Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And today we're actually talking about Amazon because Amazon, I think, is about to get on the United States government's oh no list. And here's what's going on. Now, this is exclusive reporting coming from Reuters, and I found it absolutely fascinating and a little bit terrifying, and we'll get into that soon. But Amazon has bought cameras to take the temperature of their workers basically during this pandemic. But they bought them from a firm that the United States government blacklisted over allegations it had helped China detain and monitor the Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities. And this is according to three people that are familiar with this that were talking to Reuters. Now, the company is China's Zhejiang Dahua Technology Corporation, known as Dahua, and they shipped 1,500 cameras to Amazon this month in a deal valued close to around $10 million. At least 500 systems from Dahua are for Amazon's use in the United States. Again, this is according to sources that Reuters has. Now, the procurement by Amazon, which was not previously reported, is technically legal because the rules that control the U.S. government's contract awards and exports to blacklisted firms do not actually adhere to the private sector. So while the U.S. government is basically forbidden from using Dahua, there's nothing that legally stops Amazon from doing this. However, the United States, and I quote, considers that transactions of any nature with listed entities carry a red flag and recommends that U.S. companies proceed with caution. This is according to the Bureau of Industry and Security's website. Now, Dahua has disputed this designation, and Beijing has denied the mistreatment of minority groups. And outside of Dahua, there have been an absolute ton of reports. I've actually done videos on the utterly massive surveillance system China has in place, not just against their citizens, but specifically against the Uyghur minority as well. Now, on top of this, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration warned of a shortage of temperature reading devices and said it wouldn't halt certain pandemic uses of thermal cameras that lack that agency's regulatory approval. Meaning, they're basically going to turn a blind eye to this, and Amazon is taking advantage. Now, Amazon declined to confirm its purchase from Dahua, but said its hardware complied with national, state, and local law, and its temperature checks were to, and I quote, support the health and safety of our employees who continue to provide a critical service in our communities. Now, I believe part of that statement, these cameras absolutely are probably for doing temperature checks on bodies and all of that, as Amazon has a massive logistical warehouse system across the United States, as it does the globe. And so keeping these workers healthy, safe, and protected is in Amazon's best interest, because if they go down, as I've mentioned multiple times, oh God, we're in trouble. But this opens up a couple of different issues that we have here. The first one being just the straight up optics of this is not good. Amazon, being an American-based company, using blacklisted technology by the U.S. government over concerns of human rights violations is a very serious issue that Amazon has and does not look good for their corporate image. So from a PR standpoint, it's a pretty bad move. The other side of the coin that we have here, aside from the optics of this, and obviously I wouldn't want any society surveilled, whether it's the Uyghurs or even us, in this manner, we also have to look at the constant battle that the U.S. government and other U.S. intelligence and military agencies have had with Chinese technology in terms of eavesdropping and surveillance. We had this entire issue with Huawei in 5G infrastructure, possibly being used as a data exfiltration or surveillance device that Huawei could bake in. We've had issues with DJI drones, and the military in the United States has issued warnings about their cloud service basically replicating possible images from these drones back over to servers in China, which means if you're flying, let's say, a drone around a secure government facility like a military installation base or nuclear power plant, that information could possibly be used to map that facility and given to the Chinese through the use of a DJI drone. That's the concern. And so when we are putting cameras that are built by a Chinese-based company that are already on the blacklist into an American corporation, that's a huge red flag. That is an optics issue, but it is also a privacy and cybersecurity concern for Amazon. Amazon also happens to run the largest data center, on the planet, or rather the largest data center array, and that would be Amazon Web Services. And while these cameras aren't necessarily being installed in, let's say, Amazon data centers, they may still be tied in some way, shape, or form, or they may still gain some kind of intelligence that doesn't necessarily affect AWS customers, but may affect Amazon in other ways. It's something that they really need to consider. Now, Amazon may be in a rush. The world is in short supply of this kind of stuff, and so maybe Dahua, being on the blacklist, has a surplus they're willing to sell here because, again, the FDA is apparently turning a blind eye to this. It's something to consider, but we have to take this, for what it's worth, and we have to look at this problem, and we also have to take Amazon to task for making decisions that may not necessarily be in its best interest, as well as the citizens of the United States that use their warehouses and their logistical services. So take that for what it's worth. I thought it was interesting bit of news today, and so that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, and please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.